marching to new heights of development under the dynamic and young leadership of Dr. Pramod Sawant. A visionary leader, a meticulous administrator, tirelessly working on the dream to take Goa ahead. Goa Ahead is brought to you by the Department of Information and Publicity, Government of Goa.
Hello and welcome. It was a fierce week of politics in Goa because of the winter session of the State Assembly. Goa is one state where the Assembly session is telecast live by local channels and people across the state watch it very keenly. Now let us move towards this week's topic, a short yet fiery Assembly session.
Citing COVID-19, the state government is out to make a mockery of democracy, is what the opposition benches claim. And if one assesses the situation, the claim cannot be completely sidelined. If class 10 and 12 students can physically attend classes, then why can't the State Legislative Assembly hold lengthy session for its legislators? Former Goa CM, late Manohar Parrikar, had in 2013, soon after coming to power with a complete majority, announced that the Goa Legislative Assembly would sit at least for 50 days in a year, and accordingly, state recorded its longest 28 days long budget session in March 2013. The earlier record was of a 25-day long session in 2002. Since then, the State Assembly has not met less than 30 days a year, until 2019. No doubt that year 2020 was marked as COVID-19 pandemic year, wherein the State Assembly met only 6 days, 5 days budget session in February and 1 day session in July. The curtailment of sitting of the House in July was acceptable on the worrying COVID-19 situation, as state was reporting over 200 cases during that period, with increase every month. However, with partial normalization of the situation in October, the state opened clubs, hotels, cinema halls, public gatherings, etc. with restrictions. From November 21st, it made class 10 and 12 students to attend classes physically, and now from coming months, the students of class 10 and 12 will be answering their practical exams from the classroom. If the school kids can attend classes, despite several cases of COVID-19 being reported amongst them during the schooling period, what makes the State Assembly so contentious? In fact, the sitting of the House is already done, keeping in mind the physical distancing. Also, with no visitors gallery, there would have not been a question of crowding.
Full-fledged session जावचें आनी आमचो सदांच डिमांड आशिल्लो की ह्या डिसेंबराक घेवचें त्या वेळाचेर ते डिसेंबराकय जालें ना सेशन. गेल्ल्या वर्सा फक्त 7 दीस सेशन जालां आनी हें सेशन कमीत कमी 20 दिसाचें घेवपाचें कारण डिस्कस करपाक चान्सच ना काय. इतले इम्पॉर्टंट इश्यूज आसा आज गोंयांत प्रजेच्या मुखार, लोकांच्या मुखार. लोक म्हणटा तुमी काय आवाज काडना, म्हणजे रेज करपाक सुद्दां मेळपाक डिफिकल्ट जाता. आतां कॉलिंग एटेन्शना विथ लॉट्स ऑफ डिफिकल्टी द्यायचं 3 ठरलीं.
What is the reason discussions are not being held? Is it COVID? You have a session, take it till 12 o'clock. आमकां निवडून गव्हर्नरान दिवंक ना. We don't represent the governor. We represent the people of Goa. People of Goa want answers.
The opposition benches in fact have been demanding a full-fledged assembly sitting, which government is denying holding.
Whatever is there will be replying to the governor's address. But I think the government again is just trying to pass these 3 days through fun, frolic and diverting the subjects rather than discussing the subjects at large which are of the interest of the state.
The only reason could be the government is not ready to face the opposition on some of the crucial issues haunting the state like double tracking, coal, Madhei, mining and unemployment. The ministers are under public scrutiny during the functioning of the assembly. Telecasting live the proceedings of the assembly also have created a sense of insecurity among the ministers as their performance is being evaluated live on TV. And ahead of 2022 polls, government would definitely like to be on the safer side. All these factors in the past too have helped in preventing the government from increasing the number of days for the sitting of the assembly. If we look at the ongoing session, the Dr. Pramod Sawant-led cabinet was at the back foot as the united opposition cornered them right from day one. As Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari failed to make any mention on the coal issue in his opening remarks, the opposition waved placards and started slogans Amka Naka, Goyan Kolso Amka Naka as he walked out of the house. Though the speaker issued final warning to the MLAs for serious breach of privilege, the opposition were in limelight with those protesting against coal, thanking them for raking up the issue.
कोळशाचेर एक उतर कित्याक ना मेन म्हजो प्रश्न हा कोळशाचेर एक उतर कित्याक ना
On day 2, the ruling benches worked out a smart plan to ensure that the starred question on Mollem infrastructure projects, slated for number 3, does not come up for discussion during the question hour. The question was tabled by BJP MLA Alina Saldana. However, the first 2 questions posed by BJP MLA Francis Silvera and MLA Dayanand Sopte, with replies from the Minister for Power Nilesh Cabral, took entire 60 minutes of the session. On day 3, Madhayi battle was center of the debate in the House. The opposition castigated government over its failed attempts to protect the interests of the state, as Karnataka continued to divert the water to Malprabha Basin. With numbers in hand, government passed the controversial bill to Goa Lokayukta Amendment Bill 2021, which once notified will dilute the power of the body.
Okay, what do you want to tell these people? Do you want to completely be the most corrupt government of this decade? I know that you have a brute majority. I know that you just won the Zilla Panchayat elections and you know that you have won the world. But no, it is those few people who might teach you a lesson.
आणि गोंयांत एज इट इज आसा तोच एकटो मातसो वीक आशिल्लो पण आतां तो आनी एमेंडमेंट्स केल्या पळय ते एमेंडमेंट केल्या त्या लोकायुक्ता कांय अर्थच ना आय डोंट नो वॉट इज द पॉयंट इन अपॉयंटिंग लोकायुक्ता त्या लोकायुक्ता म्हणटा ते इट इज अ इन्स्टिट्यूशन if you dilute so many with this amendment then better to abolish Lokayukta. What is the point in holding and appoint Lokayukta and spending money on them? Send it to select committee. It's such a mess because that time also the Lokayukta Act was bill was referred to the select committee. We deliberated and we came to a conclusion.
If these amendments are passed, you will not find anymore the objects of Lokayukta bill. You are defeating the Lokayukta bill by bringing these amendments. Somebody said you are going to make Lokayukta Act a toothless tiger. It will be a paper tiger.
One, select committee could have let it be properly done. So Goa can have a face saving. Let us not be a laughing stock in front of the country. This government is having Lokayukta phobia. Election let Goa not be a laughing stock.
हो जो अमेंडमेंट हाडल्या सारसर सगळो विचार करून खूब जाणांनी खूब व्हडल्यान उलयलें काय ना ते एकदां खरें कशें दिसता. स्पीकर सर हांव कळपा खातीर सांगता फाटल्या गोवा लोक आयुक्तांत ज्यो केसीस अपॉयंटमेंट केल्ल्यो तितूंतल्यो काही केसी ह्यो ACBक धाडल्या. तो चुकीचो समज सगळ्यांच्या मदीं पसरचो न्ही. म्हाका दिसता काही केसी ACBक गेल्या काही केसी ज्यो गव्हर्मेंटा कडेन गव्हर्नरा कडेन वचून त्यो गव्हर्नरा कडेन गेल्या.
All eyes are now on the budget session, which is expected in March. The opposition, falling short of numbers, will make every effort to ensure that at least a 10-day-long session is summoned, further displaying their show of strength. But the ball lies in the court of government.
Leader of opposition Digambar Kamath has his own position to put forward.
That this government has gone into withdrawal syndrome because you issue some orders and immediately you revoke the orders. You wanted IIT at Shell Melavli. Again people oppose. Then when it is coming on their list, then they decided to scrap IIT. Same municipal ordinance they removed without consulting the stakeholders. All shopkeepers came on the roads, taxpayers came on the road. Then they scrapped the ordinance. So to issue the ordinance, again to scrap the ordinance, this has never happened. Mother is calling attention on that, where Chief Minister first time said, I had suggested to him that why did you lead us to, we are not interested in making politics. If politics would have been there, we would not have joined your delegation. In spite of knowing that you are taking the delegation to Minister for Environment. But still we joined, all the party people joined. Now I said you lead it to Prime Minister. I had led the delegation to Prime Minister when there was a delay in referring the matter to appointment of Madhav Water Tribunal, Dispute Tribunal. There was that time Centre was delaying. So I led a delegation. The Assembly said that the Chief Minister should lead a delegation to the Prime Minister. We went to the Prime Minister. Prime Minister said, don't worry, we will not make any injustice on Goa, though Goa is a small place. Within 20 days, 23 days, 25 days, the notification was issued with the appointment of Madhav Water Dispute Tribunal. So I said, you lead a delegation of all party MLAs or even 40 MLAs to the Prime Minister. Let Prime Minister come to know that Goa is united on this issue. Goa is very serious.
One of the senior most members of the House and Legislative Affairs Minister Movin Gudino feels that the opposition is letting the prestige of the House down.
Sir, as a legislation minister, your comment on this entire assembly session?
As you know, this was a very short session necessitated by the constitutional requirement, and because of the pandemic situation we could not have a very long session, but nevertheless as much business as possible we have tried to cover in this session. But as you know, and it always happens in a democracy, everybody wants to rush ahead with their point of view. It was a little unhealthy that for the first time in the Legislative Assembly, when rules are very clear, before presenting anything in the House, you have to take the permission of the Speaker. But without taking any permission, the honorable members of the opposition displayed hardboard placards and all of a sudden raised slogans against coal. Issues may be very important. I don't say issues should not be raised. They should be raised in a proper manner following the rules and procedure of the House. That was the only observation which I had to make as the Legislative Affairs Minister. But one must also at the same time realize we have to have more and more discussions on the floor of the House, because that's why it is called the August House. If we curtail assembly sessions deliberately, if we cut short discussions, then what will people do? They will start discussing on the road, they'll start fighting on the streets, there'll be hot heated debates on the street, which should not happen in a democracy. That's why it is called the temple of democracy. But this session has been short. As I said, we don't want the pandemic situation to further rise or affect people in a manner that there are deaths or more people getting infected. So as simple as that, we had to have a short session. And in spite of the Business Advisory Committee, which each and every member of the political party is a member, opposition people are there represented on that, and they agree in the Business Advisory Committee, but when they come to the House they speak different things. So this shows double standards and not properly in sync with the healthy functioning of democratic setup. So one should refrain, especially because, as you know, as far as Goa is concerned, we are known as forward-thinking people, educated people, and good people from elsewhere, means other than the rest of the people. When we are known as good people, if we don't show good behavior in the assembly, following the norms, it reflects very badly on all the population of Goa. So one has to really think hard.
But opposition leaders have a point of their own.
Which issues your party highlighted in this assembly session?
The issues that needed to be highlighted in this session are issues of the 3 linear projects, the issues of coal, which is haunting the people of Goa, the issue of administrative paralysis, financial imprudence, complete fiscal irresponsibility of the government, which is taking Goa into a debt trap, and several issues including the future of our tourism industry, the mismanagement during COVID, the entire ripple effect it has had on the people of Goa, and the systematic campaign of the Goa BJP to target the sons of the soil in every possible industry through certain legislations, laws which are being brought because of the brute majority they have, because of the third installment of defectors that they have bought over from the Congress party.
You said you didn't get satisfactory reply in this assembly session. How you will take this all issue to the logical conclusion?
We will have to take these issues either to the court or to the people's court.
Which are the issues your party highlighted in this 4 days assembly session?
Actually, my MG party is the oldest party of Goa, where we had our government from 63 to 78. And today we are on opposition side. Actually, I have written a letter to the governor, CM, and also Speaker that should be a long assembly session. But I do not understand why they have curtailed to 4 days. And from 4 days, just business hours is only for 3 days. That too on different issues.
जो भी इश्यूज रेज किए वहाँ को गवर्नमेंट के साइड से सेटिस्फैक्ट्री रिप्लाईज मिले?
आज जो इश्यूज मैं रेज किया वो एक भी इश्यूज गवर्नमेंट ने मेरे को सेटिस्फैक्ट्री आंसर नहीं दिया. पहला है माधे. देयर आर 3 things in Madhe. Now government at center is NDA, where BJP is the main MP, having major MPs. Karnataka also BJP and government of Goa also BJP. Now coming together, if I can definitely say that when there are 3 governments of BJP's, center, Karnataka, why Madhe issue is still lingering and not given a correct solution on this issue.
आपने कहा सेटिस्फैक्ट्री रिप्लाईज नहीं मिले गवर्नमेंट से, तो ये इशू अभी आगे ले जाने के लिए आपकी पार्टी क्या करेगी?
Definitely we will go to the public. I got now percentage wise of each department towards the expenditure in revenue in 2019-20, 2021 and 18-19. I will bring this notice to the public who votes us, and I will definitely go door to door and say that this government has not performed.
However, the biggest issue of pool and the controversial 3 linear projects is still there to haunt this government in an election year. But the government is not ready to budge.
Consider the people's view as far as this thing is concerned. Beyond politics, don't divide the people, don't do all those things. Enough trying to convince, saying that what is wrong is right, what is wrong is right, what is wrong is right. Don't do that. And let us unite. My request to everybody. Forget about the politics, forget about the party, forget about everything. But गोंय salva करपाक आमी जोण एकल्यान चिंतपा पडटलें, जोण एकल्यान उब रावपा पडटलें. हें मुगे clear on behalf of my constituency. जे लोकांनी म्हाका निवडून हाडला, मुगे काम तें protect करपाक आमी इशी गेल नाय सारी.
The government has stated very clearly that the quantum of coal to be transported is to be reduced by 50%. Now, if this is true, and given the fact that the present track is being underused as far as connectivity is concerned, I can very definitely say that the second track is redundant. Speaker sir, if the second track is not needed for connectivity and we can increase the number of trains on the existing track, why are we doubling? Why do we want to be responsible for the misery that will be wrought upon the lives of the residents of these houses due to coal dust pollution and noise pollution? There are cases of pulmonary disorders. Speaker sir, I don't know how many of you saw this on the TV. It was shown maybe 2 to 3 months ago, where a small child from Vasco is suffering from acute lung problem. Why? Because there is a layer of coal dust deposited on his lung. I appeal to my government to stop this project. Cancel this project once and for all, not for any other reason, but for the welfare, the safety, and the happiness of the people.
इतले सोशल लोक, इतलो सुदरलो लोक, आखो संसार बरलो लोक, संसार लोक मानपी गोंया बोर लोक, जाल्यार आमी तरी तवरे वो कुळसो हाडून तरी हिंगा स्टोर करूं सोदिता जाल्यार हे आमी एक पातोग न्हू, आमी फ्युचर आमच्या जेनरेशनाक तुम्ही सारखे काबार करूंक वता. स्पीकर सर, आज तूं चोय ट्युरिजम पळय म्हणटा तेजेर कितलो लोक आमचो एम्प्लॉयमेंट आहा, कितलो लोक एम्प्लॉयमेंट आहा, कितल्यो गाड्यो, कितल्यो शेकां, कितले नुस्तेकार, कितले भाजीवाले, कितले सगळे कितलो लोक तितून इन्वॉल्व जाता. पूण कुळसो तूं 18 आसतना कुळशाचे कोण इन्वॉल्व जाता? एको मनीस फायदो काडना कोणी, एको मनीस फायदो काडपाक सोदता. कितले एम्प्लॉयमेंट आहा?
Are we having any respect for our environment? Are we having any respect for Goa? Are we having any concern to protect Goa, Goa's ecology, environment? Why? Why have got such a hard heart? Goa doesn't need this development. Goa doesn't need double tracking. And definitely Goa doesn't need coal. The future generations will condemn us. My colleagues who are laughing there, my colleagues who are taking great pride in these projects because they feel these projects will take them to highest glory. My colleagues who are sitting from this side to that side to this side, and this side to that side, and future God knows which side.
No side.
Wherever you sit, wherever you go, whichever party you embrace, don't destroy Goa. Your greed, pelf, and perfidy, I'm sorry I'm using a little hard word, should not be responsible for a wanton destruction of Goa.
जो आज साहिब मजनत वो कल नहीं होंगे, किराएदार है, जाती मकान थोड़ी है. सभी का खून मिला है इस मिट्टी में, किसी के बाप का गोवा नहीं है.
Sir, despite of opposition from the public, even from your MLA, why you are insisting on this 3 million project?
Political will is required to take this project, number one. And intention, these are projects of the central government. It is not only going to benefit the state, but the entire nation. First of all, the 3 linear projects are what? Tamnal line, which is projected by the CE, Central Electricity Authority, is a project which gives power only to Goa. It does not continue. The other doubling line, which is to be done, people claim that 110 years back technology was the best. Today's technology, according to me, is the best. And if we have to go into a developed mode, this project is required for the state of Goa. Constructive opposition. If there is constructive opposition, if the project, something is going wrong, we are ready to, as a government, to correct it. But just for the sake of opposing, because people want to oppose, is the political parties involved, is something which we do not consider as opposition. We are very sure that the people of Goa are convinced that these projects are required not only for development of Goa, but for the development of our nation.
The Chief Minister, in spite of multiple attacks on his government in the House, feels that he has handled the onslaught very effectively.
की ह्या 60 वर्साच्या कार्यकाळात बेजीक गोंयकार एका बेजीक नीड्स जावं ती टॉयलेट जावं ती इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जावं एखाद्या घरा कडेन वचपाची वाट आसतली एखाद्या गॅस कनेक्शन आसतलें मूळ गोंयकार जो आसा एका ह्यो गरजो भागच्यो म्हणून आमचो प्रयत्न आसा. हे गव्हर्मेंट ऑफ इंडिया कडल्यान आमकां जो सपोर्ट स्टेटीच्या डेव्हलपमेंटा कडल्यान बाब ढवळीकर हेका एग्री जातले, जो सपोर्ट आयज पर्यंत केन्ना मेळोंक नासलो तेजो व्हडलो सपोर्ट इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेव्हलपमेंटान इवन दो इन ह्युमन डेव्हलपमेंटान आमकां मेळ्ळा. इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेव्हलपमेंटान पुराय सगळ्या प्रोजेक्टांक 60 वर्साच्या कार्यकाळात आमकां केन्नाच मेळूंक नासलो. तेजो व्हडलो सपोर्ट हो इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेव्हलपमेंटानूय मेळ्ळा आनी इन फ्युचर आतां आमकां ह्युमन डेव्हलपमेंटानूय बी वेगवेगळ्या खात्यांतल्यान आमी सपोर्ट मेळपा खातीर सुरवात केल्या.
That's all for today. Keep watching Goa Ahead.
Marching to new heights of development, under the dynamic and young leadership of Dr. Pramod Sawant. A visionary leader, a meticulous administrator, tirelessly working on the dream to take Goa ahead. Goa Ahead is brought to you by the Department of Information and Publicity, Government of Goa.